pledge allegiance to your flag, cause I can't find no reconciliation with your past. When there was nothing equal for my people in your math, you forced us in the ghetto, and then you took our...
Hey everybody, this is Daniel Troutman.
Emmanuel Morel.
And we are going to start talking about the Democratic Party platform that was released yesterday afternoon. Now, we're recording on a Saturday. The platform draft was released on a Friday afternoon. So just to give you a heads up, having worked in journalism, Friday afternoon is like a trash day. Like when you don't want something to get a lot of coverage, you release on a Friday afternoon. The NFL is very popular for doing this. When they have bad stories, they'll release them on Friday afternoon in hopes that by the time Monday comes, it's already kind of gone. Nobody wants to cover it. So I find it really interesting.
That makes it very ominous what you're about to say. It's almost like we're about to get some bad news.
Yeah, it makes it seem like it's bad news. That's what makes it all the more interesting. If you look at the platform and if you just Google it, 2016 Democratic Party platform, you'll see that there was a draft released, and in this draft, it looks like Bernie Sanders and his people wrote all of it. Like, it is everything that you as a Bernie Sanders or Jill Stein supporter would dream of. Universal health care, racial justice, Wall Street reform, modernized Glass-Steagall, which would break up the too big to fail banks, universal health care. There's a lot of progressive stuff in this draft, but it was also dropped on a Friday afternoon. I find that really interesting. So just real quick, it calls for reviews of trade deals. I'm reading the Reuters story on this. Wider healthcare coverage to public programs such as Medicare, and federal investigation of fossil fuel companies. This is not stuff that I would see Hillary Clinton supporting, and she has more people on the platform committee because she's the presumptive nominee. I'm really confused by this draft.
So what are some of the implications, right? So for me, the implications could be one of two things.
Yeah.
Well, one of several things. It doesn't have to be a dichotomy. But what jumps out to me is this could mean, and I know that you don't really quite subscribe to this belief system, but it could mean that there are people within the Democratic Party, insiders, who believe there is some legitimacy to some of the concerns of the FBI, some of the concerns, postulated by people who believe that Hillary Clinton may in fact actually be investigated by 12 FBI investigators. They may actually have something, and that's why her staff members are being given immunity, and why she's being called into these meetings, etc. It may be that some of the people within the inside of DNC believe there's a strong possibility that she could be potentially indicted. It's just a matter of when, right? And what tactics they're going to do to either ensure that it doesn't happen or try to prepare themselves for the fact that it could happen. And the other thing, of course, is that they want to be able to continue the momentum of the Bernie Sanders push. They realize now that with Bernie Sanders, remember, a lot of people forget about this too with this, because we talked about the $27 of each individual donor that was really popular during the Bernie Sanders campaign. People don't realize, Bernie Sanders was able to match the campaign contributions, like in whole, in summation, of someone who was literally funded and financed by major corporations, multinational corporations. That should send a red flag up to the DNC and say to them, at least from a financial standpoint, hey, there is something to, galvanizing this populist momentum in this belief system. Hey, maybe this act is actually within our financial interest as a party to entertain these Bernie Sanders or Bernie Bros or Bernie Sanders supporters, right? And perhaps even genuinely give into some of their positions. Now, will they? I'm skeptical. I don't know, because so there's some provisions in here that they want to have worked on, right? And you saw how they want to, for instance, there's a line in their platform where it states like labor unions should be a priority in emphasizing for the DNC, right? So do you think that with Hillary Clinton having worked on the board of Walmart for 6 years, working with people like John Tate, who literally said, I think something to the effect of labor unions are the scum of the earth, or labor unions are bloodsuckers, that's what he said. Do you think that she has the capacity, and just with that specific issue, to be able to really push a platform in promotion of Labor Youth?
No, I don't. No. When I see this draft, and again, we're just telling you this is a draft. Like if you look at the actual document, you'll see draft is all over it in watermarks. To me, there's a part of me that thinks this is kind of a chess game. This is a back and forth between the Bernie people within the Democratic Party platform and the Hillary people. And for all we know, this could have been written by the Bernie people to say, this is what we want. And then there's the negotiation that takes place to say, these are the things we'll accept from the Bernie platform, and these are the things we won't. Like, that's why when I look at this, there's no way in God's green earth that Hillary Clinton is going to support all this, because she is so beholden to wealthy individuals and corporations that they will not allow her to do this.
Voted against a lot of these proposals, right?
They will not allow her to pass this. And again, I just want to stop here and emphasize this. They won't allow her to do it. This is not, in my opinion, a question of whether she has a choice in the matter. I don't think she does. And that's not because she's a woman. I don't think Rubio had a choice in what he could support, because his donors told him, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. Same thing with Ted Cruz. That's one of the reasons, I'm kind of going on a pivot here, but I'll come back. This is one of the reasons why Donald Trump became the Republican nominee. Because when they had him down, they were attacking the sides of his hands. You remember that. They were going after him. They had him. And then the donors came in and said, stop. With all the anatomy jokes and let's clean it up. And then Trump was able to respond. So when I look at this platform, I'm sorry, I just don't see Wall Street saying this is okay. In fact, about a week or so ago, a story came out that Wall Street had actually said to Hillary and her campaign that they didn't want Elizabeth Warren to be the VP pick because they felt like, because she genuinely goes after them and consumer protection. And they had said if Warren got the VP, they wouldn't be supporting Hillary. That was the last straw for them. They're fine with Hillary paying lip service to going after them. They are not, they are. They are not okay with Hillary actually doing something about it. And for those of you watching this saying, well, what does Wall Street and these big corporate interests have to do with me? This is the biggest reason why your wages haven't gone up for the past 30 years. If you look at the data from the last 30 plus years, you will see that the average CEO's pay has tripled, while the quadrupled from about 300,000 to 1.2 million. You will see that the middle manager male's pay has gone down actually from about $36,000 a year on average to about $30,000, and that's from inequality for all the documentary about Robert Reich. So you will see that this has a direct impact on how much you get paid, has a direct impact on the freedoms that you can take advantage of every day. This is one of the reasons why you just can't smoke marijuana in your house, because you feel like it. Because there are corporate interests saying no.
Pharmaceutical companies donating millions upon millions, if not billions of dollars, in order to ensure that marijuana remains illegal because it's within their interest.
And this is the reason why, if you get sick, many people are saying to themselves, I can't afford going to the doctor when they're sick. This is why older people have to sometimes make a choice between food or medicine. This impacts our daily lives. So when we're looking at the party platform, we're not just picking this story because it's just something we want to talk about. We're picking it because this has a direct impact on you.